Hey everybody, it's John, retired old man, on the back porch again. Uh, Thinking about a little opportunity. That wind is really kicking on up. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to hear through that wind or not. It's in the low 60s today. I'll try to get this pipe going. This is one of those Missouri Meerschaums, and it's the second. I bought a bag of those. I don't know what they're called, smoke them something or others. And this is one of them I took. I did a little wood burning. I don't know if you can kind of see that right in there. Used a little wood burning, made a little pattern on it, and kind of pattern out the corn cob feature a little bit. This is actually my first smoke in it. And I dropped my tamper. Here it is. This is my first smoke in it. And this is a drugstore blend. This is the old Admiral's Choice. You can still buy that. This is 4 or 5 years old, maybe longer than that. Trying to keep this thing going. This is the Cherry Cavendish. This is what you used to buy. CVS sold a ton of this stuff at one time. Came in a big old bag. That's the way this did. Came in a bag, big plastic bag. I got a bunch of it for not much money. I'm not much on swapping out. I don't have a whole lot of tobacco. When I find something, I like it. Don't use it that much, 3 or 4 times a month, especially in the fall and spring. When I get a little coolness out here on the back porch, I do enjoy it. Don't care too much for it when it gets hot. This is staying lit real good. Here's another one. This is one of them. I did a little bit of wood burning there on the stem, just a little bit. And that's an old country gentleman. This pipe right here is probably 15 years old. I do have a little green stem. That's those little stems that Missouri Meerschaum sells. They're not very expensive. They're not those forever stems. Here's another one. This came out of that bag. I don't know if you can kind of see right up there. I think that's what made it second up there. And on the bottom of it, they put those X's. So they're not sold as first line. But as far as smokability, there's no difference in them. And I think you get a bag of them. You used to get a bag of them for about $20. I think now they're about $35 for 6 or 7 of them. This tobacco, this stand looked real good. This little pipe's turned out to be a pretty good smoker. As I said, this is my first time in it. And the reason I like, there's a lot of reasons I like corncob pipes. One reason is they're not expensive. They smoke just like an expensive pipe, which I've never had an expensive pipe. Like I said, I started probably 30 years ago off and on. I do not consider myself a smoker by any stretch of the imagination. I know some people would qualify that a little bit. But I don't think 2 or 3 bowls of tobacco a month makes one a smoker. We're not talking about cigarette smoke here full of chemicals, cigarette paper full of chemicals. We're talking about pretty much pure tobacco. It does have a little casing on it, a little bit of flavor. Flavor's probably not the best for me, but I'm 75 years old. The reason I'm puffing so much is I'm trying to smoke this in because it is a new pipe, first one. As I said, I do want to kind of get a good char around the edge of the corn cob. Oh, back to the reason I like corn cob pipes. One, they're inexpensive. Not as inexpensive as it used to be, or neither is anything else for that matter. And number 2 is I smoke a lot of aromatics mostly, which just means they smell good. Smoke smells good. Matter of fact, 99% of everything I do smoke, when I do smoke 3 or 4 times a month, it always is an aromatic. And a cheap aromatic, that I might add. And the reason this corn cob is, I can switch between those aromatics. It doesn't carry the flavor over. I think for the cool boy and girl pipe smokers, I think that's called ghosting. All the cool kids on the pipe videos out there, I don't know what it is. I just call it flavor carryover. Never did smoke cigarettes. I remember before I got married, a big deal was to buy a White Owl cigar. 3 or 4 of us get in the car, and we traveled 20 miles to a movie theater. We'd smoke the White Owl cigar, smoke it halfway, going the 20 miles, put it out, smoke the other half on the 20 miles back home. We thought we were pretty high rollers, I guess. Well, it's Saturday, and been a beautiful day. We've had some really, really pretty days here. Been rather windy. Wind's dying down just a little bit. We had a windy spell to start this video. If may have heard that wind come through, but it's all gone now. At least I would hope so. Well, I think I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish here. It's not going to be a long pipe video. Get a little char down here a little more. And I burnt my hand, burnt my fingers. This pipe, this little Zippo pipe tobacco, pipe lighter, you can see it's got the hole in it, so the flame comes up through the top. Been around for ages. Yep, she's a smoker. It's gonna be a smoker here. I like this. It fits real well. I like that color handle on it, a yellow handle, which is pretty much stock with Missouri Meerschaum. I like that green handle too. That might go with it. This, the pipe was natural corncob. All these seconds, they come natural corncob when you get them. Either come with a black stem or a gold stem, just whatever they have as seconds up there. Again, they're all smokable. But they do come in natural, which means there's no finish on them. But that's going to be if you buy first rate, unless you go up. I think this one may have had some kind of something on it. That's called a Country Gentleman. I believe that's what they're called. Again, I've had this pipe here for over a decade. Smoked pretty regularly. Smokes as good as it did the day I got it. There's a fallacy about corncob pipes that they don't last. Well, my position on that is either they're being smoked wrong or you've got a really inexpensive pipe. And when you're talking corn cobs, you can't get any less expensive than a corn cob. But the Missouri Meerschaum, and I used to call in that town on the store. I was in the Midwest for 8 or 9 years. Washington, Missouri was one of the places that I had a store in. I was company store manager. We had a store in Washington, Missouri. And I went by that place several times and made these pipes. Never went inside. It's on my bucket list to go back up to Washington. It's a beautiful town. Washington is a beautiful town. It's located on the Missouri River. Quaint. Missouri's a beautiful place. We lived in Missouri for about 8 years. Lived south of St. Louis, about 20 miles south of the city. And when we went to St. Louis, I knew I was going to be transferred, and there were 3 places. I think they were, one was Denver. I think one was maybe Charlotte, and the other, of course, was St. Louis. Well, my wife and I were decided anywhere but St. Louis would be fine, because we'd heard nothing but negative about St. Louis. Of course, as God would have it, that's where we ended up, in St. Louis. And we were there for about 6 weeks. We realized what a hidden gem that place is. This was in the 80s, late 90s. I think we left St. Louis in 93 or 94, in the area. I call St. Louis. It was in the metro area, but it was not in the city. The city we lived in, believe it or not, was called Festus. They changed the name to Festus. Previous to that, it was Tanglewood, or Tanglefoot, I think. It was something. And the way they got the name Festus was, and this is in the history of the city, I'm pretty sure the old name was Tanglefoot, and they did not want to do that. So the way they would do that, according to the history of the city, is the fathers, when they decided to change the name, they went to the Bible and they decided they would open the Bible on a random page, and the first name that they found on that particular page, that would be the name that they'd call that city. Well, they turned over the New Testament around in the Acts, I believe, is where it's going to be found. And first proper name was Festus. And that's where they named it, Festus, Missouri. It's on the Mississippi River. And Had two cities there, Festus, Crystal City. I think only the tax district knew exactly where those boundaries were, because you could go half a mile, pass through all three cities a dozen times, it seemed like. I know it seems like I'm smoking this pipe fast. Well, I am. Again, I'm trying to get that char burn into it. I'm trying to get that wall burnt out. The first time you smoke a corncob pipe, you get a little sweetness of that corn. It's not a bad taste, but I want to get it burnt out so that I can taste the cherry of the tobacco, which is odd because normally I don't particularly care for cherry flavor. But a cherry tobacco, I don't know, kind of like it. Again, most of my tobaccos, I use a lot of Lane, which is a store tobacco. Have nothing against it, but I've never seen the point of stocking in a whole bunch of tobacco that I'll never smoke. This jar right here is a mason jar. It's a quart mason jar. I bought that probably 5 years ago. So you can tell I'm not, maybe an inch, 2 inches off top of it, so you can tell I'm not an avid pipe smoker. But there's something relaxing about coming out on the back porch on a pretty afternoon and talking to a stupid phone. And maybe somebody will see it, who knows. Anyway, that's all I got to say about my pipe, my tobacco, and a back porch on a Saturday afternoon on a beautiful February day. Y'all take care. As a retired old man, Upper East Side of Texas. God bless. We'll see you on the next video.